always, we say we're grateful for your time with us here on Global Television. This is how we welcome you to today's edition of Global Morning. Do not take your time with us on all our programs for granted. I am Wuyi Abmofwebe saying it's so good to see you again. And my colleague, Priscilla Obas, is also here to shine the lights and bring some color to the show this morning. Priscilla, it's always a delight to have you.
Yeah, it is a delight to have you back, actually. So
yes, I feel elated.
We've missed you on the show, and I'm sure our viewers have missed you too.
Right, and it feels great to be back here after 1 week, and thank you everyone for your prayers and support. And again, let's put a show on the road for you this morning. We spent intensively the last 1 week discussing issues of insecurity, and then of course talking about those who have been abducted, those who have been killed, those who have been made homeless, displaced people as we call them in this part of the world. And you look at all of this picture, they look very grim, and they make you ask the question of which way in Nigeria, as one musician, Sonny Okosun of blessed memory, once asked in one of his songs. Well, I grew up hearing my parents play that song, by the way. But when you look at Nigeria today, it just raises questions about what exactly are we dealing with. Government has been accused of complicity. Government has been accused of nonchalance. Government has been accused of not doing enough. And all of these three don't look good at all. But it's amazing, it's interesting, it's inspiring, maybe a bit reassuring that President Tinubu is now saying that, look, if there's anything that gives me sleepless night about my leadership in Nigeria, of Nigeria, about the role I have to play as not just the president, but the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of this federal republic, as the father of the nation, it is the level of insecurity that we are now dealing with. Maybe the pictures we saw come out yesterday regarding his interaction with service chiefs and heads of security agencies is also a pointer in this direction.
Well, we've seen in the last 48 hours news of rescues here, left and right, and
from Kwara to Niger.
From Kwara to Niger, you know, the whole thing is actually interesting. You know, it feels like a movie. It feels like some kind of Hollywood, or do we call it Nollywood? I don't know.
Which of the woods?
Which of the woods? Oh, definitely not Bollywood, though.
Okay.
But then, you know, it's quite interesting the way the whole situation is currently playing out. First of all, we hear that some people being, you know, kidnapped, or I don't know the word to use, but then they are no longer, they go for, either they go to a church service, they disappear, and then we hear that some girls have been abducted. We heard of 2 different, you know, schools. I think at some point we were even hearing Nasarawa, and they came out to say that it's basically rumor.
It was false.
It was false, right? And then in less than 24 or 48 hours, we were seeing the rescue, people leaving. And then, interestingly, I think I saw a video of one of the, I don't know whether to call him the bandits, but how those people are so bold to appear on social media. You know, I saw one of them making videos. Right. Yeah, saying that he had abducted girls. I don't know if you've come across that video.
I haven't seen that
on TikTok. He came out to say, I am the one with the girls. And I'm wondering how, why? Is it that we don't have, you know,
he never showed evidence, or anyone can come out and make that
claim. But we've seen people come out to say insult presidents or the governors, and they're arrested.
So you are saying the DSS, for example, should have done something?
Exactly. We see people being arrested on protest ground basically because they're protesting, and somebody comes out on TikTok to say, I am with the girls, and we just say we don't. You are looking for it. What evidence are we looking for? I mean, at least we'll start from arresting that person. We'll start from tracking that person. But
again, we can't be sure what the DSS will be doing behind the you and I may not be aware.
For these people to be bold enough, and then we hear I don't know which of them came out to say that they reached out to the bandits or the people that adopted it, and they released some of them. I think that was the news I saw. And I'm wondering, is it that you guys are in a group chat that you just send messages?
How do you have that conversation?
How do you have that conversation? How are you able to rescue these people? We need to see. You need to tell us the picture, paint it to us. How did it happen? We cannot just see news coming out saying that these people have been released. What happened? So everything just needs to be plain to us right now. It's either somebody is not saying the truth somewhere, or something is just, or there's just one. Maybe the whole thing is fabricated.
Do you think the parents and the loved ones of these people who have been kidnapped, especially the school children, for example, are very bothered or concerned about all those details? What happened? How did you have the interaction? Who initiated the negotiation? What was exchanged for what?
Well, that is for the parents, and really,
But you are saying Nigerians deserve
for
to know.
Nigerians, we deserve to know. Anyone coming out now as a representative of the government saying that we have rescued so person,
Right.
you need to let us know how it happened. Yeah, because I just saw that they said we sent them a message and they had to comply. How? Like, how does it? How?
In the voice of Buju Banton, a world-renowned reggae artist, who gave the order?
Who gave the order? Exactly. How did it happen? How did the conversation happen? Like, and then why are they not being arrested? Why are they not being tracked? Is it impossible? If somebody comes out, we have seen
what is swap that happened.
Exactly. We have seen, like I said, we have seen people arrested on TikTok over insulting leaders.
Somebody even got arrested, we understand, a few years ago because he named his dog after a former president.
Exactly. So how were they tracked? How? Can't we use same measures,
Same
technology to track these people? How are they bold enough to come out on the internet and say, imagine people's children that are being adopted, hearing that coming across that kind of a video.
Right.
How do you expect them to feel?
It just worsens their
I'm
plight.
telling you, it's so sad. It's really sad.
You know, I look at the news now and I'm wondering, just yesterday we understand the president has said to the IG of police, look, you've got to withdraw your men attached to VIPs. And we understand the number stands at around 100,000.
Wow.
100,000.
100,000.
Now, I sit back, I take a deep breath and I ask myself, can we just hold on a second and ask ourselves, what exactly are we not getting right? Are we deliberately doing this, or is there something fundamentally broken about how we provide leadership, especially from a security angle? I'm asking this because at the last election in Anambra State, the police, we understand, deployed no less than, maybe more than, but no less than 60,000 policemen for one state's election out of 36 states minus the FCT. So on an election day such as that, you have 160,000 policemen, 60,000 of them in Anambra State for one election that will last for less than 24 hours. Another 100,000 attached to VIPs, including Priscilla Abasi, for example. And then it now brings you to the question of how many policemen do we have in Nigeria who are active? In the days of Goodluck Jonathan, the former president, in 2012 in particular, we're told that the number was no more than 300,000. So what has changed? How much have we recruited between 2012 and today? We're not so sure. But now we're saying that there is need for us to rethink how we police our country. Again, it probably whips up sentiments around the state policing system that has been advocated over time. People say Amotekun is a model we can follow. Today in the news, for example, we see the African Democratic Congress, the ADC. We see people like former, he once represented the people of Kaduna Central at the Senate, Senator Shehu Sani, saying that, look, it's not enough for the president to have given that directive to the IGP. There must be an immediate, instant implementation or enforcement of that directive. What the IGP is doing about that, we can't be sure, we can't even discuss that right now. But we want to believe that the IGP will not repeat history like one former IGP had done, who had been signed to Benue State by former President Muhammadu Buhari, now deceased, and he never showed up. And the former president said he never was even aware that the IGP never followed or carried out his directive. We hope that doesn't happen with this, because one would have thought there should be some, what the English people call alacrity in this regard. In other words, once that directive was given by the president himself, no less than the president himself, by now we should have nothing less than 2/3 of those men withdrawn from these VIPs, whether they traveled abroad with them or they are within the shores of our country. But you see, we can't sincerely have a conversation around insecurity if we don't find leadership at that level doing their part. I saw a video on a final note where the current DG of the Department of State Service, DSS, was making references to two instances, one of them in Bauchi State, where the people in a particular community in Tafawa Balewa local government had to take their destinies in their hands, in the manner of speaking, by providing security for their own community. Apparently, if you watch that video, incidentally, we can't play that for you just yet, you would realize that the DSS DG is indirectly suggesting that people must take responsibility for their own security. In fact, in the course of that video, which ran for a couple of minutes, he says that the police, the army, or any a branch of the armed forces does not have the capacity and the resources required to provide leadership for every Nigerian. I think we're going to need somebody whose specialty is in security and intel to help us unbundle this sort of conversation. But let's take a quick break. There's so much to talk about in security on the show this morning. Do stay with us.
And all the hitches. We'll go straight to the conversation now. A major event happened yesterday in the political space. Former Vice President and former presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar officially joined the African Democratic Congress, which is the ADC. We're trying to analyze what this means because this has been long expected. A lot of people have speculated that, he has not officially joined, he's still with the former party, but all of this moves just proves all of that wrong. So I am here with a political analyst, a politician, as a matter of fact, to understand what this means for the ADC, for the ruling party, and, for Nigeria at large. Of course, democracy is, supposed to be our first call as citizens of the country. I'm here with Honorable Haske Al-Hassan. You're welcome to the conversation, sir.
Priscilla, good morning, our viewers. Good morning. Exactly, it is known to many Nigerians and abroad that former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has joined the African Democratic Congress, that is ADC, yesterday. Before I go further, let me first and foremost start by saying happy birthday to Atiku Abubakar, the former Vice President, because today is his birthday. And I can see in the social media many former ministers, former governors, and many Nigerian elite politicians are wishing him happy birthday. So as a leader in the political arena of Nigeria, on behalf of myself and if I'm basically the presenter and the good television, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Regarding its Atiku campaign, honestly, it is something very crucial in the Nigerian politics. Because it is known to anyone today in Nigerian politics, in every political party where you have leaders, including the APC, you can see many Atiku boys, including Mr. President. He was one time under Atiku, he was one time an Atiku boy, the President Bola.
Oh, that's interesting.
Likewise, of course, when we were in AC, when we formed AC, Atiku was a leader of AC.
Oh, okay.
And President Tinubu was then a governor of Lagos State. So Atiku became his leader, then contested the president on 2007 under the AC Action Congress.
Okay.
Atiku, the campaign is a signal that indicate to Nigerians, yes, opposition can become formidable.
Okay.
Because it is known to each and every Nigerian, home and abroad, that the one-party system policy or the political maneuver of the current president was able to finish the main opposition party, which is PDP, where Atiku belongs to before now. So, already explained by President Tinubu has really, sidelined, or you can say the structure is no longer an opposition, that is the PDP, that's what it is. But today, the opposition party, the opposition leader in the country, presidential aspirant of PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has become, considering the people that are in ADC, when you see people like Amici, former minister and two-time governor of Rivers, that was in ADC. When you see people like Malemi, former attorney general, when you see people like Malan Nasir El-Rubahi, these are all the people. Aribishola, former 2 or 3 times Senate President of Nigeria. David Mark was the party chairman of ADC. Honestly, this is a formidable opposition structure against my party, All Progressive Congress. So we are happy with what is happening. At least is the campaign to that party will still bring another, direction at least now the opposition, if they mean business.
So we're clearly saying that the opposition right now is the ADC, basically because Atiku and
Of course.
so PDP right now is nowhere to be. Is that what you're saying?
Of course, that's what I was saying. Because considering the crisis that is happening now in PDP, go and see what court has already given them order not to conduct their convention, but they went ahead. Often all what happened, or often all the contribution of former governor of Jigawa State, Sule Lamido, he wanted to contest for the party chairman, but his right to contest was denied. He went to court, and the court stopped that national convention of the party, but the party went ahead and did the convention.
The party.
What are they telling Nigerians? So if they were able to lose people like Sule Lamido, who right from the formation of the PDP, he was one of the founding members of the PDP, but he was humiliated and kept aside by the PDP. Who are the people in the PDP? Are they not Governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, whom he was known by each and every Nigerian that is dancing to the tune of my party? That is the APC. Likewise, other people like him, the other governors, Makinde, these are the governors that owns PDP now. Look at the fighting they are doing with Wiki. So it is all known to Nigerians. They don't mean the business, and these are the people that mean the business of opposition. And if they were really mean to get what they want, they should remember how we formed the APC. I was one of the founding members of the APC to the right from its formation.
Oh.
I'm a member of APC, and I know how APC was formed. So happening all the structures, the power behind the ADC now, it is something that I can say it is looking as similar as how the APC was formed. So if now the margin of the PDP can come into the ADC, so I think there will be a stronger and there will be a doctor that may challenge our president or our party.
That's interesting, and I like your sincerity. I like your sincerity in all of this.
Yes, of course. If they cannot form themselves, because that's what happened. We were with the Atiku then when there is PDP. So probably the same thing will happen. That is the new PDP. Upon all these their crises, there are mostly a new PDP, and that new PDP will join the opposition ADC, a stronger party that defeats Jonathan. The same thing happened. The people from NCPC, they were now formed as ADC.
Yes. Okay, so
the next thing when we were able to have people that can defect from PDP to join the ADC, the same equation that brought the PDP and bring APC into power in 2015. That's the same scenario that is going now. So, but nevertheless, I know my President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is a president with all the political sagacity and knowledge, and is someone who is fully ready and prepared to govern. That's why he was a president, and that's why he was doing all he could do to make sure that he took all the opposition. But nevertheless, we are having challenges, honestly, for Atiku to join this party at this time.
Okay, so one may want to think that the whole drama going on in the PDP right now is something that is being orchestrated by sabotages. And like you have said, the pattern in which the APC was formed is something that is trying to play out again with the ADC. And we see that, is there any chance, or is there any case, like you have speculated, some of the the PDP current members would, try to merge, which will also form a stronger opposition for the APC come 2027? What are the strategies, considering everything that is happening in the country right now, the insecurity, whatever that is going on in the country? What are the chances of the APC in 2027? Do you really see a strong, fight? Do you see something that would be, do you see a defeat? I know you see a victory, but how strong do you think that victory will come? Do you think more efforts are needed to be put in order to ensure that victory? Or do you see a fearless and a flawless defeat?
My sister Priscilla, actually what is happening or is going to happen, I can see Wukeism in all the parties. I mean, the type of role or the game played by Wiki when he was in PDP to sabotage the PDP in order to people.
It looks like that's the kind of politics that's going on in Nigeria now. The Wikeism politics. Sabotage is everywhere.
Of course, that is what is happening now. There are many Wikeism in the APC and the same in the PDP, but less in the ADC.
Okay. Oh, don't you think that's because the party is just starting? Don't you think as time goes on and as people begin to observe the force, there's a tendency of that playing out also in the ADC?
No. Because what is happening is that the structure they form, the leaders they form, the target they are targeting, they know what they are targeting. So if you cannot, there are many people that they believe they are in APC now, nobody care about them, nobody cares to take good care of them, nobody believe to consider them. And at the same time, let me give you an example. In my APC now, today, the current person that is serving under the FCT as a minister, special duties, he decamped from PDP to APC. He was opportune to be a minister, so he didn't respect the people that form the APC in the FCT. So it is only when it is election he think he can ring or he can buy both or he can do as he likes to get what he wants. It is not possible. It is not going to be done how accepted by the Nigerians in the FCT. So there is fire on the mountain.
What can we do? What can we do to sanitize? What can we?
Excuse me. Something similar to this are many in the APC. Well, the ADC is a fresh party with fresh grudges and a target of what they want. And anybody that feel betrayed in the PDP and the APC is going back to the ADC in order to join them and revenge what was done to him in either the PDP or the ADC or the APC.
So the ADC right now is vengeance in motion.
Of course.
There seems to be a lot of...
The great fault of the APC is that it doesn't respect or value most of the people that form the party, but it is now respecting and honoring the strangers that came due to one thing or the other. And they were not doing an evaluation of your capacity, which is very wrong. At least an evaluation of the capacity of people. Thank God we have an election in 2026 of the area council in the FCT that will demonstrate the exact mind of Nigerians. If Nigerians means the change, fine, we will see it in that election. If Nigerians means business as usual, we will see it. In the 2026 election. And I believe Nigerians will judge all the parties according to what they have done to Nigerians.
Okay, that's speaking from a democratic point of view. Now, a PDP chieftain argues that Atiku Abubakar doesn't have the moral, he calls it the moral consistency. We have seen him go from party to party. And this is not just peculiar to Atiku Abubakar. It's peculiar to a lot of politicians right now. People go from party to party, from opposition to ruling party. Sometimes they say it's to wash their sins away. Right? Because when they go from party to party, they go to a ruling party. And because they have ported, somehow their atrocities are forgotten. They don't remember whatever bad book or bad record they have. The political space is somewhere that we need to really sanitize at this point. Political parties, with the whole PDP drama going on, and I'm sure, it's something that will still spread to other parties, because this, as it is, are people that have tested all parties. Like you say, an IPC person is going to a PDP, from PDP to ADC. They have tested. If you look at every politician right now in Nigeria, they have, at one point in their political career, be part of almost all the parties, or maybe most of the ruling parties. What are those strategies we need to sanitize the political space? What can we do to sanitize the space? Is it okay for parties, for members of parties to keep porting from year to year, and we do nothing about it? It looks as if it's normal right now. What is actually the moral justification, or what can we say is the moral standard for political parties right now in Nigeria, and especially for our democracy?
what I will say is that the campaign in the campaign in democracy is not something wrong, or it is not. It is a democratic freedom.
Okay.
Also, yes, and a winning calculation. If you were in your party and you have calculated, you will not be able to achieve what you want. You can move from party A to B. Considering the fact or level of the campaign from one party to another party, most of the people that you can see the campaign to the ruling party are people that I can say they are a parasite looking for where they should belong and saw something, or looking for a relevancy or an appointment or else. But in Atiku'S case is contrary, because Atiku was a vice president in People's Democratic Party, ruling party. He decamped and formed the ANC Action Congress in 2006 to 7.
Okay.
So you can see the differences. That he is not, he is leaving the ruling, a new party. Likewise, in 2015, he is a ruling party.
Mm-hmm. So these are the things we're talking about.
Excuse me.
Okay.
He come to APC that formed the party. He was in the party that is a ruling party that has all the slot of ministers and contract that can be given to him or allow his companies to be booming. But he decamped to the rulers. But most of the people that are decamping to the ruling parties are people that are looking for a greener pasture on what to live, how to live, how to siphon, how to build themselves, not based on a political calculation. But what I wanted Nigerians to look at this time is that we should forget about the political parties. We should forget about the differences we are having in terms of religion, culture, or tribal. We should go for the people that has Nigeria at heart. The people that are moving from one party to another in order to solvent the system, in order to solvent the nation. This is the most priority, aspect that Nigeria has to stand for. We don't mind go to 130s, but if you have a manifesto, if you have a blueprint on what to do, and where you belong to, where you were not given a chance to demonstrate your effort, to demonstrate your capacity and your good work to Nigerians, then you move to another. So as Nigerians, we can see it. Let us look at what happened in US, the election of Mamadi, the mayor of the New York. The President Trump has gone against him in different campaigns, different attacks, but the New Yorkers know his quality, know what he's going to do, but they all the and candidate. This is what Nigeria to our Nigerian leaders, so that we can go out of being I belong to opposition or I belong to this party. Likewise, let me give you this example. In the 2019 election, the kind of people are a little bit political, sagacious, and knowledge. They know how it takes to finish the APC. But unfortunately, due to the power of the presidency, the election was not declared. The Kano State, the Kano State governor was not declared. That is Abba Kabir Yusuf. The election was made to inconclusive. And when it comes to the inconclusive, everybody knows what the federal and the state government did in order to warn the NNPP then, although he contested in PDP, and in this 2023 he contested again in NNPP, he won his election. So it is indicating that the people of Kano are after Abba, not the political party he belongs. So the Nigerians should go for person, not the political party he belongs to.
That's a deep message for Nigeria.
So for other as you have said, one of the elite from the PDP or parties, it took them for Atiku to leave them openly. It is a great plus to them.
Oh, you seem to be having a little network glitch today.
Section of yesterday, today, tomorrow, from now to 1 week, 2 weeks, millions of Nigerians will join ADC, and the structure of ADC will change. And let it be a signal to my own home party, APC, that we should do the needful in order to achieve our desired goal.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much for your insight. It's an ongoing conversation because 2027 it looks far, but I feel like it's just around the corner. So a lot of decisions are going to be made. A lot of things are still going to happen before then. But thank you for coming to share your insights with us. Nigerians, the last words you have said, democracy, people focus rather than party focus, and I think that's a takeaway from the conversation for our viewers today. Thank you so much, sir. Viewers, you've heard it all. The conversation, like we say, continues. Well, let us join the next segment of the conversation as we takes us through. Please stay with us.
Right, so politics, they say, never ends, even though we're dealing with so much of insecurity in our country right now. It's only natural that I still say those who are doing politics by the side. So once in a while, they find a time to respond and react to the security challenges that we're dealing with in Nigeria. And that brings us to this official membership of former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and what it means for the opposition group in Nigeria. Before now, the belief has been that the PDP coordinates and galvanizes its opposition, politically speaking, but as it stands today, it appears that dynamic itself has shifted very drastically. Therefore, going into 2027, which effectively begins next year for most politicians, what will the opposition look like? All right, is it going to be an Atiku-led opposition? Is it going to be a Peter Obi-led opposition? Or is it going to be a Nyesom Wike-led opposition? The third one appears to be a joke, really, because Wike has already said that going into 2027, he's going to stick with his boss, the president, all right? And as such, it will be foolhardy to expect a man like that, given the things he has said, the pledges and commitments he has made, to now throw his weight behind the opposition.
Well, Wike is under some kind of heat right now.
Under some kind of what?
The heat. He's under kind of heat. So whatever support he gets in this heat now will determine, for me, it will determine 2027 for him. Because
so you don't think he will deliver on his promise to support the president?
It depends on the support he gets right
So anything can still change?
Yes, because I have seen videos where northern leaders come together to say they want Wike out, with immediate effect. They have been pushing that force and narrative. Right. So, like I said, it depends on the support he gets from his boss right now. Else, if they are able to, pull through, I'm talking about the northern governors now, with whatever plight they have, Wike has the right to change his mind.
Yeah, to add to that, the man has even said that, look, very soon I'll let Nigerians know the party that I belong to. But that is interesting. Yeah, at the PDP secretariat last week, right? You have to be not just a member of the PDP, but a very high-ranking member for you to fight at that level or be part of the fights.
No, basically it's because he owns the FC. He cannot do this in another state. Right? If he didn't do it, he didn't go to...
So you think if something like this played out in a different state, Wike will not be this powerful and influential?
At all. It's basically because he has assets, or he's in charge of basically the properties in the Federal Capital Territory, and that is on the basis that he is able to exert whatever force or whatever power.
Right.
But outside the FCT, I don't think he has that force and that power. So that's why. But then, 2027, our politicians they can never seem or cease to amaze Nigerians. We're always expecting whatever. We don't fix our minds and say this is what will happen, because if you see what is playing out with the ADC right now, it's something that played out some time ago with the APC. This is how the APC came.
Amalgamation.
Yes, the amalgamation, opposition unity, coming together. And they were successful, as it is. They were able to kick out the sitting president. So anything is possible. And then it now depends on the integrity of the leaders. Can we have another leader that would say no bloodshed is worth, my ambition?
Yeah.
Can we have another leader that will come out to talk like?
I was talking about former president Goodluck Jonathan.
Former president. So it's a very interesting situation right now in Nigeria. The insecurity, everything, the political space, democracy, everything is interesting right now. So, I mean, we're all observing, but what is wrong is wrong. We can clearly see the wrongs, even if we cannot really point at any rights right now. But the wrongs are glaring. You cannot, it's glaring to the blind. We know what's up. But will these leaders allow themselves to do what is right? It's the question. 2077, we're anticipating, we'll keep advocating for people to vote, and we'll be praying that votes indeed count. Because if votes would count in this country, the day votes begin to count is the day that Nigeria gets better.
Interesting. And still talking about opposition and the political forces behind the politics in this country, one would have thought now that Atiku has officially moved to the APC, and that's no longer a secret. Someone like Mr. Yensa Weke will now say, look, I need to meet with all the PDP leaders across the country. Let's discuss the future of this party. Let's discuss sustainability. Let's discuss how we can move towards 2027. Now, this is me theorizing in my head, because I'm wondering if PDP were to relinquish its leadership or its reigns to Wike, or if Wike were to become so powerful that he takes over the leadership, or as they said, the political structures of the PDP, to what end? Will it be so he can return and, if you like, steer the party into winning ways and stay in charge on whatever level? Or would the idea be to sink the PDP further, thereby giving some sort of mileage to President Bola Tinubu in 2027 and by extension the APC? Because there has to be an objective behind every fight.
Well, the objective is quite glaring, because we saw what happened in the last elections. The whole weekend came out, to talk about. He didn't even, at some point he supported Peter Obi. He verbally supported Peter Obi.
So the obedience were hopeful.
The obedience were hopeful. And then all of a sudden we see what happened in River State. And then he comes out all of a sudden to pledge allegiance to Tinubu. In that same year, he made this utterance. You will soon know my party. I think he still made it. So it's not something. We have seen Wike's actions. We have seen him move. We have seen him replicate stuff. What he's saying now is not new. You will know my party. He said that as at when the whole Labour Party and PDP energy was, high. He said it then in River State. So we are not. I don't think anybody will be fooled at this point to not know what Wike is up to. We know that he is, whatever he's vying for he wants to succeed. he might have an agenda, because he has come out for presidential position. He's once been a candidate, so it is not something that is not obvious. He wants that position, and he wants to work with a powerful force to be able to give it to him, easily. So, but then he has played. I think he has really. I don't know, but somehow his integrity is really at stake at this point. I don't know which politician will be able to trust Wike, except for the basis of, okay, don't worry, I'll do it for you. Maybe to just, have faith, or basically because we know that you can work in the negative part. Because he has made it known to Nigerians and other politicians that I can't be trusted. No integrity whatsoever. You come out to threaten, come out to do stuff, there is life after this government.
Right.
There is your political ambition after this current government. So politicians should learn how to look ahead. You even want to leave a legacy. Do you not care what name you leave after you even leave this earth? It's something that they should really consider. beyond politics.
The long term,
Yes.
beyond the next election.
Beyond the next election, beyond the next year's election, beyond, even Nigeria.
Right.
Yes.
It's interesting how that we are no longer big on conversations around patriotism, right now. Last year, so I should say 2023, going into the election, just a few weeks into the election, I asked myself, of all these candidates, Ahmed Tinubu of the APC, as it then was, the candidates, Labour Party's Peter Obi, PDP's Atiku Abubakar, Showore of the AAC, and several others, I asked myself, how many of these gentlemen can you really say, by whatever standard, are patriotic? Can say they are doing this from a place of love for country? Would say before God and man that, look, the only motivation for me, or the cardinal motivation for me, is that I want to see a country that works. Because most times what you see with politicians, what they do in front of us is just to capture power, or in the case of opposition, recapture power, and then the rest is history. Because as it stands like this, today in Nigeria, nothing will work better than it is already if we do not have a crop of men and women who are sincere enough to say, look, it is first and foremost love of country. Everything else takes a backseat. Until we find those people, until we have those people, we'll just be here and talk with little or no results to show for it.
Absolutely. The thing is, democracy is getting better. With everything we see happening right now in Nigeria, before a candidate comes up to say, I want to participate in the 2027 elections, you have gotten to that point where you need to really ask yourself, can I do this?
Right. With all you're saying.
All you have seen. It's not just to come to deceive the people, because people are more aware, and it's going to get better, or do I even say worse?
Yeah.
People are more aware of what is happening. The social media space is a place now where people can express themselves. And for you to be able to work with well-meaning presidents across the world, you need to be able to represent your country in that internet space as a good, you need to be able to give your country a good, image on the internet space right now. Else, a lot of governors presidents around the world might not want to do stuff with you. So we have got to that point where integrity, sincerity of purpose, intentionality, should be part of the criteria to become a president. If nobody tells you, you tell yourself.
Right.
Because the current, insecurity right now in the country has, whether we like it or not, has put Tinubu on his toes. We've seen him making statements back to back than he has ever done before. Before now, we don't hear our presidents talk to us maybe on a Democratic Day, or we don't get to hear them speak.
October 1st.
October 1st. But right now, every day he's making, just to exaggerate, he's making statements.
And all of these statements are around the insecurity.
Around the insecurity. So he's more active than ever. And everybody that wants to participate or wants to come and contest should be aware that this is the reality of the Nigeria we are in. This is the reality of the world we are in right now. It's not more, we're no longer in that time where you just come and tell people, just come and read a manifesto and people believe you, or they just say, I'm not going to vote and people should do what you want to do. No, everybody's active. We have international community. We have our brothers and sisters around the world in diaspora really wanting, because if we tell ourselves the truth, they are not really enjoying what they really should enjoy in other parts of the world, because that's not home. Everybody's interested in making their country work. If Nigeria works, all of them will come back home. So the force is stronger. The force is stronger, and these candidates should be able to understand that times have changed.
From what you're saying, Priscilla, it's very obvious that going into 2027, Nigerians and indeed the political class must realize that the paradigm has shifted, which means that you're not just going to come to the people, especially for the presidential aspirants and candidates, with the same old story. I'll build you new roads, I'll build you markets, hospitals, schools, and what have you. It has to be first and foremost, as a matter of priority number one, how you are going to protect lives and property, how you are going to bring life or breathe life, so to speak, into Section 2 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which means that those whose vote you're seeking must have the guarantees from the ground up that you not only are making commitments or pledges to protect them and their property, you also have shown a track record of doing that. Because most times that's what we don't look at. People just throw different kinds of proposals at us, but we're not asking ourselves, when we look at their last 20 years, whether in public or private service, what have they done that is a semblance or indicative of their ability to do these things they are promising? Because most times they would have been in office, before we realize that, hold on a second, this guy doesn't even have what it takes to do all of the things they promised.
Well, I like the fact that states are pushing for their autonomy when it comes to security and
Right.
so it's a good place to start. By the time they are given that autonomy, we'll be able to hold states more accountable. Because right now, everything still boils back to the president. It boils, right up
The
to
federal
president,
government.
The federal government. Basically, because there is not such autonomy that allows state governors to do what they do. But when that structure takes place, we're able to hold each state accountable. And maybe it boils down to the local government. Because when people come out to say, go and hold your state governors, what structure has been put in place to allow us hold a state governor? What structure? And some of them go back to saying, even local government chairman or what structure? Is there such an autonomy? Is there such independence in the system? So these are the things we need to address. If we have a well-thinking president right now, these are the things that should be addressed. Everybody should be broken down. Everything should be broken down.
Right. All right. Like Priscilla mentioned, it's a good thing that now we are beginning to again reawaken that spirit of conversation around state policing, how that states should be held accountable on some level regarding insecurity in our country, rather than run to the president or the federal government every time we have concerns around security of lives and property. We're taking a 1-minute break. When we return, we'll just talk to you a little more, and then we'll draw the curtains here on Global Morning. Let's now wrap it up looking at some maybe role that the states, the subnationals, can also play regarding insecurity. First of all, most of these crimes are local. They are within communities. These communities are within local government areas. Of course, local government areas make up states where you have governors. And these governors, they get allocation every other month. We understand local governments, at least a good number of them, now also gets the allocation bumping up, all right? So these mornings must be reflected in how security is provided for people. Because again, they are taxpayers' money. It's not the governor trying to show the state a favor or something. These are monies that belong to all Nigerians, wherever they may be, right? And that brings us to the issue of what governors normally do. Buy a few vehicles here and there, maybe for the police in most cases, maybe for the NSCDC. And then we have seen states now that have their own sort of security arrangements by whatever name and all of that. But they must do beyond that. They must have systems that are sustainable. And then they must also have a culture that beyond rhetorics, beyond we condemn these attacks, this is unacceptable. We see that state governors are throwing their weight behind real-time, concerted, concrete efforts to fight insecurity.
I think that's really logical. If our president is really concerned right now, he needs to really delegate responsibilities. Because if he does it falls back on him. The president is blamed. So that is just the wisest thing to do right now.
Right.
Ensure that delegations, because these things, like you said, are happening in communities. They're happening in local governments. Who is in charge of that local government? Who is in charge of that state?
Right.
Let's trace it down. Let's do the issues from the roots, because that is where they attack. They don't go to the villa to attack anybody. They go to communities.
Right.
So let's put structure in a way that those communities can be protected by the right authorities that are in those communities.
Well, that's what it has to be. We have to fight it from the ground up, all right, until we win this war and surmount. That's our program for you today. We thank you for your time with us. As always, we would like to remind you that the views of our guests on all our programs, their opinions, and the newspaper headlines that we bring to you here are neither the ideas of Global TV or the team on Global Morning. We just bring you the headlines exactly as published by their respective publishers. We say a big thank you to the team behind this broadcast. I am Uji Agbomofoegbe.
And I'm Priscilla Obasi, wishing you a beautiful day ahead.